All right, welcome back to the Malapert Smark podcast. This is episode 147. We are well beyond the 500 subscriber mark now. We're in uncharted territory. We're at 504. So, to all the people out there who've subscribed, we appreciate it, man. We hope you've been entertained by us. We hope we've been bringing you some, something to get your mind off of the terrible real world out there and just watch wrestling. It is Super Bowl Sunday today. The Super Bowl just happened. We're recording this after it. I was at work, so I didn't really watch it. I was preparing for this podcast. But my two guests today and my two good friends, they did watch the show, or the Super Bowl, I guess, the show. It was hardly a game.
It is kind of a show. Basically.
Well, let me introduce my guests. Vlad, the wrestling expert, the mainstay on this show. Thank you for being here. I'll get your thoughts on the Super Bowl in a second. And also, Robert, the frozen Asian, is here. Also,
that's me.
Watch the Super Bowl. All right, so who wants to go first? Anybody have some really serious thoughts about this? Or I heard it was a blowout or something. It wasn't even a good game.
Correct. Robert, do you want to go first or do you want me to go first?
All right, I'll go first. Well, the halftime show was cool.
That's it? That was the only entertaining thing about the whole freaking thing?
All right, if I'm going to be completely honest, yeah.
Jesus
Pretty much.
Christ.
I mean,
well, I'm glad I didn't ask for the day off.
Well, I didn't.
That shit.
I didn't care who won, really. Like, I wasn't rooting for either team. But I wanted to see a good match, a game, and that did not happen. So, not much to get excited about over the game. Also, usually there's a lot of hilarious commercials that I get played during the Super Bowl, and I didn't see too many of those either. So I don't know. It was just whatever. It was a forgettable Super Bowl for me personally. I wasn't invested in either team winning, and it wasn't a great game.
But more people wanted Kansas City to lose, I hear, because they've just been winning too much lately. So people just kind of, when that usually happens, they become the villains. So people must have been happy about that, right?
Yes, I think the majority of people were rooting for the Eagles, even at the bar, I would say.
Yeah.
All right, then. Well, Vlad, what did you think of the game? It was a boring game, huh?
Nothing the game itself was boring. I mean, the Eagles dominated pretty much from the word go. I mean, they controlled both sides of the field completely. The Chiefs could muster almost no offense through about 3/4 of the game. They got a little bit of something late, but it was already like the game was over at that point.
Yeah.
I mean, the better team won for sure. The Eagles were the better team. They proved it a number of different ways. And yeah, this was not a great Super Bowl, but last year the Niners Chiefs one was a really good one that we saw also at the bar. And that was great. That was one of the better Super Bowls of all time, probably. It happens. You get your bad ones, you get your good ones. It's a tough situation, but I enjoyed the fact that the Chiefs actually tried to go for 3 straight Super Bowls. I think that's incredible that they got to this point because no team has ever gotten to the point where they could win 3 straight Super Bowls. But yeah, I had a feeling the Eagles would win. I predicted the Eagles would win. Maybe not to you guys, but to other people that I talked to. So I wasn't really completely surprised. And they controlled the game and they were the better team. So good for them. And that's probably the last time I'll be rooting for a Philly team as well, most likely. But anyways, nonetheless, that's cool.
All right. Well, I had no teeth in it personally. I didn't care if Kansas City won a third one. There's also the Taylor Swift thing, right? I guess if you're a Taylor Swift hater, you don't like the Chiefs or something like that because she's dating the quarterback.
No, she's dating the tight end, Travis Kelce.
Oh, okay. Oh, I thought she was with Mahomes. What the hell?
No.
Why wouldn't she get with the quarterback? Okay, whatever.
I think he's already with someone. I think he's married. Right.
I don't want to get into that rabbit hole, but okay, that was my understanding that there was like a whole Taylor Swift. No, I mean my understanding was that there was a whole Taylor Swift thing. Like, I don't really know anything about her, but for some reason, certain people like her and certain people don't like her. I have no idea.
She's very popular. I mean, obviously, she has a huge following as far as being. I personally don't see anything as far as a musician. Like, I don't think she's that great. But to be honest with you, I don't really see it. But
She's
I like.
fun. She's good looking. She's never
Oh,
been.
yeah.
Yeah. She's never been in wrestling, so that's why I have no idea. But if you haven't been in wrestling at all, then this is
Oh
a
man.
wrestling show. But all right, I'm gonna rein that in. So no more
Yeah,
Taylor Swift talk until she appears on one of these shows on AEW or TNA or WWE or even an indie. Then I will maybe talk about her. But
I
otherwise,
can assure you she will
no
never
Taylor
be
Swift talk.
on AEW. All the other ones are possible, even in indie, but not AEW.
All right. Well, with all that being said, let's jump to the wrestling talk. Okay, we've wet our whistle. I hope you guys are ready. You got your mouth salivated enough to do the wrestling talk. Okay, so drink your water and let's do this. All right. So we do a week in wrestling here. That's the format I've been going with, where we just do Monday through Sunday, and we usually record on a Sunday. So we'll have the whole week behind us to talk about it. So I've made a format for today on our blog, the Malapert Smark blog, and let me pull that up for you guys. There it is. All right, so I put a link to this if anyone wants to follow along. It also has the links to all of our reviews that we've done this week. So this is episode number 147. Congratulations, we're almost at 150. But show topics for today. I'm going to start with Charlotte Flair. Okay, so Charlotte's back. She won the Royal Rumble, and she appeared on all three shows. So I want analysis from you guys for all three segments. Maybe which one was your favorite one, or which one would you think? And afterwards, we're gonna do a what do you think is going to be the matchups for WrestleMania, including this and including whatever else you could think of. But this is very preliminary because WrestleMania is a long way away. So we're just whatever thoughts we come up with, we're gonna see and we're gonna play around with this little graphic I got and move around the wrestlers. But for right now, let's go with Charlotte Flair. So Charlotte's back, and for anyone who hasn't been watching wrestling for the past year, like for example, my girlfriend, Haley, she has never seen Charlotte Flair. So this was like brand new, and they did a great job introducing her to anyone who might have just joined into wrestling like in the past 6 months and never seen her. Like if you watch these three segments, you know all about Charlotte Flair. Her whole personality shown through, her arrogance. So let's start with Raw. So this is February 3rd on Monday. She was confronted by Rhea Ripley, and then I'll gloss over all of them first before we jump too deeply into it. So then she showed up on NXT the next night, and that night they were having like a summit in the ring because there's going to be a three-way. Vlad, I don't know if you know this because you don't really follow NXT, but Bayley, Julia, and Roxanne are going to have a three-way. So Charlotte showed up there to talk to them. Cora Jade showed up, whacked everyone with a steel pipe. It was crazy. But Smackdown also, so she showed up over there, had a meeting with Tiffany, and then Nia came in because Nia's like, you know what, I'm going to beat Tiffany before WrestleMania, so this is all a moot point, you talking to Tiffany. So, all right, well, out of these three segments, I'll start with Robert. Well, I have ratings from all of you guys, so I might as well just go through what the ratings were. So this is from our Raw complete review, which is in the description below. So we've already had ratings from you guys from Monday Night Raw with Charlotte and Rhea Ripley. I was the only one who gave it a heart, so I gave it 3 points. You guys gave it 2 points, 2 thumbs up each on our review system. So I liked it. I like this segment a lot. I'll talk about it a little more later. But the NXT one, only me and Robert reviewed that because we're the only ones who do the NXT review. So Robert liked this one more. Interesting.
Oh.
Plus 3 points from Robert on this one. A heart. And he loved it. I really liked it. 2 thumbs up. And then SmackDown we all reviewed. So the segment with Tiffany and Nia. Let's see what we got here. I got 2 thumbs up from me and Robert. Just a thumbs up from Vlad. So, all right. I'll start with Robert. So obviously from the three, you liked the NXT one more, but give your thoughts about Rhea Ripley's return and all these segments and her week in general, if you will.
Okay. Okay, I'll start with the Raw one since that came first. But just to rewind a bit on last week's podcast, I did say that I wish that someone else besides Charlotte Flair won the Royal Rumble. Not anything personal against Charlotte, but preferred, if someone else had the opportunity to win the title besides her because she's had so many already. Um, when I said what I said, I thought I was kind of in the minority with that opinion. But then when I heard the boos on Raw, I was like, okay, I guess I wasn't, because
Yeah,
apparently a lot of people think that, and I didn't know that because I thought I was in the minority. Like, but okay, but still, though, that was a really good segment. They've had history. They've fought each other twice at WrestleManias, so it would make sense that they would have I guess a trilogy. So a third WrestleMania match would make sense. They had a pretty good back and forth, so it was really good segment. All right, the NXT one. All right, I'm not even gonna pretend like there's no bias here. I have a lot of NXT bias here. I personally loved it. Her interaction with Bailey, Julia, and Roxanne. The NXT fans were a lot more welcoming of Charlotte than the Raw fans were. Well, clearly she was brought up through the NXT system, and when when Charlotte kept saying over and over again that NXT is always her home, that felt genuine. That didn't feel like something that was scripted and she had to say that. That felt like she really meant it. So I personally enjoyed the NXT segment. Last one, the one with well, start off just between her and Tiffany Stratton. um, I didn't expect Nia Jax to make an appearance. I thought it was just going to be, a face to face between Charlotte and Tiffany. But okay, they want to drag out this story a little bit longer, until Charlotte finally makes her decision. Fair enough. Um, I think uh, a matchup between Charlotte and Tiffany Stratton would make a lot of sense too, because Rhea Ripley is already established as a big star. Now WWE needs to do the same for Tiffany Stratton, and this was a good exchange as well. So overall, all of the segments involving Charlotte were good.
all right, let me jump to Vlad then. Vlad, same thing. Your thoughts on Charlotte Flair's week, please.
Well, it started rough. It started rough on that Raw, man. I got to tell you. I mean,
You
she
didn't like
came out.
that segment?
No. I mean, for her, it started rough.
Oh yeah,
Not,
she certainly didn't get the same reception Jey Uso got, which we thought it would be the opposite. We thought fans were gonna turn down Jey Uso and
well, yeah,
kind of
yeah. That's
accept Charlotte Flair's pedigree, but it was the opposite. So all
well.
right, yes, she was getting booed, but she kind of muddled through that somehow, and
No, she did a great job getting through it because, boy, everything she said, like, I'm glad to be here. You guys brought me back here. Boo, you suck. I'm like, you're the reason that I came back through this injury. Boo, we don't want to be the reason. We don't want to be
Sounds
the
like
reason.
Hogan.
well, she was a heel like before, she's an arrogant bitch heel, obviously. But look, in addition to that, let me ask you what you think about Rhea coming out and basically challenging her. Like, what do you think about the champion doing that? Did you think that said anything about Rhea Ripley, or am I fishing for something here?
Maybe I think you're on the right track because I think Charlotte said the same thing. She's like, "Well, you're challenging me. Then you're still a kid, right?" Type of deal. Which I think was a good burn, and I think really made Rhea like, really angry with that. And she's like,
Like,
I'll beat the.
she's the one who beat her last year. Why is she coming out and saying you need to challenge me so I could beat you again? And
But
I
to
don't.
be fair, they are 1-1 at WrestleMania, so they should have that. If it doesn't have to be this WrestleMania, but they should eventually at some point have that trilogy. I don't think it should be this WrestleMania, and I'll explain why in a second. But this was a great segment. It was tremendous. Both did a great job. I think, especially, Rhea always does a great job with her promos, but Charlotte, given the fact that I think she was a little, probably discombobulated with the boos, because I think that was not part of the script for sure. She did not expect to be booed that badly, and you could tell that to be the case. But she still went through it and ad libbed a lot of the different things, and she did a great job getting out of that. And kind of being, then she kind of did turn heel a little bit in this. I don't think she was originally. I don't think she was gonna be, but she sensed the crowd was not with her, so she did kind of go heel here. The NXT thing, I didn't really see, but I saw like a little bit of it actually. So look, it's cool. I mean, this is your guys' thing. I'm not going to really comment on it. I respect all the 4 people in there. I think they're all probably really good workers from what I've seen.
But she's not going to pick Julia this year, though. I got to admit. Like, this is not the year to pick NXT. There's years in the past where it might have made more sense, but it's not going to be Julia. But okay.
With Charlotte winning,
she did come out and say she thought she was better than everybody. So she continued her little arrogant thing, and she said all these girls are good, but I'm better, which was kind of funny. But all right, sorry, I cut off your little NXT diatribe, but
no, I didn't really have much to say to that. By the way, Bailey is looking tremendous. Oh, okay, that's all I have to say about that. Let's move on to Smackdown.
It's always looked tremendous, but yes.
Well, yes, but specifically on that NXT where she was last week.
All right.
This was my least
praise from Vlad, but okay, go ahead.
Yes. I have a keen eye for things like this. But anyway. but SmackDown, well, actually, my least favorite of the 3 segments. Well, I can't say that because I didn't really watch all of the NXT segment, but I saw enough of it where I thought it was still pretty solid. The reason I don't like it is because I think the Tiffany character is still, like, they're trying to kind of figure it out as they're going with her. Like, she's not where she needs to be yet as far as, like, her mic skills and some of her wrestling ability is also, like, not completely there yet. So to me, she's a really work in progress, but she has, like, she has the tools. She has the tools to be really great. So it was a good segment. I didn't like Nia getting involved again, and now they're going to have another title match. I mean, hopefully Tiffany wins because that would be a disaster if she didn't, given who I think they're trying to push at this point, which is Tiffany. So the reason I want to go, I think this is more, and it's still an important segment, though, despite it being lowest rated, because I think this is who Charlotte's going to end up picking. She's going to end up picking Tiffany. I think they're going to want to make Tiffany in this WrestleMania. So they're going to try to put her over Charlotte. Now, again, I don't think she's there yet, but maybe with this win, they're thinking like they could push her through somehow and get her there where she needs to be as a character, as a wrestler, and everything in between. So she has some decent mic skills, and but sometimes like it just sounds very boring. And it's also weird because like she's saying all this kind of heel stuff, but the crowd is really with her. It's really a strange type of deal. Like, it's like the opposite of what Charlotte got at Raw. Like Charlotte was trying to be really nice, and she got booed. And somebody says like some really crappy shit, and she's like, and the crowd just eats it up and loves her. It's kind of a weird dichotomy here going on with these women. But I think just like if you disregard all of that, just what they're trying to do here with Tiffany, they want to push her, and they should push her, and I think Charlotte's going to choose her, and I think she's going to put her over too. That's just my guess. So that's what I would do for this, because like Robert said, Rhea's a star. Like Rhea doesn't need the rub. There's no rub for Rhea at this point. She's beyond that. She's probably like one of the she doesn't need it. So that's it. So this is where it's going. I think
that's the one thing that confused me though about all 3 of these segments was the Raw segment where I felt like Rhea's so over nowadays. Like, she should have had more confidence. Like, I think the right thing to do would have been for her to stay in the back and not really go out there during Charlotte's promo. That's my opinion. That's the one. That's the only thing.
I kind of agree, but I also see the point where they're 1-1 at WrestleMania and they want that trilogy, or Rhea maybe does more than Charlotte. I don't know, but I could see that too. Like, she wants to show her that she really is better than her in that sense. If you're talking kayfabe wise.
I think Rhea Ripley coming out to confront Charlotte was actually a good thing because it would have just made the segment more awkward if Charlotte kept talking and kept getting booed. So in a way, Rhea kind of saved it.
No, that's true too.
That's true. All right, well, this is a good segue into my next topic, which is an experimental topic on our show. I've never done this before, but basically I have a question for you guys because we are in WrestleMania season, and one of the fun things to do is try to figure out what the matchups are going to be. So for the women, we just talked about, I guess Vlad just said that he thinks Tiffany and Charlotte are going to go, right? So basically, let me see. I got these little graphics for us, and I'm gonna go to Vlad's page for the women. So I'm gonna keep a running tally. This is Vlad's page. So I have little action figures down here, and I guess we're gonna try to make. Well, we're gonna do our final predictions at some point. But for the WWE Women's title, you're saying it's gonna be Tiffany over here and against Charlotte. Okay. All right. So who's the women's champion? Rhea. So I guess it's gonna be Rhea. And we're looking for a challenger for Rhea. I don't know if you have any ideas there, but
No, of the women that you have there, I don't really see any of them, to be honest. I mean, maybe they could do something with Bianca, but they can't go back to the only person that would make sense, but they can't go back to it. I don't think is Liv, because they kind of already put an end to that angle. So
I think she's going for tag team gold, Liv Morgan,
right.
Raquel. So
I mean, sure, I would love to see Bianca and Rhea of these women, but I don't know how we get there.
All right. Well, we can hold off on that then. We'll keep this page. I'm gonna keep this like this, and we'll come back to it next week. Robert, I don't know. Do you have any? Are you picking anyone for Tiffany Stratton to face at WrestleMania?
I think she's gonna face Charlotte, but as the way it's going, as far as the crowd interaction with these two, I feel like there has to be a double turn at some point, like an official double turn. I mean, they're already booing Charlotte and they're already cheering Tiffany, so why not make it official? You know what I mean? But
though, to be fair, sorry, I was going to say just real quick. To be fair, Charlotte wasn't booed at NXT, and I don't think she was booed at SmackDown either. So it was just the Raw crowd that gave her the trouble. I don't know what that was about.
Okay, well, I don't think she was as booed as loudly in SmackDown. I heard a little bit, but for sure you can tell that the crowd was definitely on Tiffany's side.
Yeah, maybe.
Based on how much cheers she got.
Yeah, maybe.
All right, as far as who's challenging Rhea, I'm not sure, because I don't know who all the participants of the Elimination Chamber are. I don't think that's been set yet.
Yeah.
Once they set that, then I think it'll be easier to make a prediction as to who's gonna challenge Rhea.
Yeah. This page is more work in progress. The men, we might have more information, but I'm gonna leave this like this, and we'll come back to it next week. So, but if Charlotte Flair really wanted the real clout, she would go for Julia over here. Julia versus Charlotte. That's WrestleMania.
There's no way that's happening.
Main event night 1, and then Rhea versus. Well, to be honest, I would say Rhea versus Bianca. I like that matchup.
I like that too, but I don't know. But we have to get there somehow. Maybe she could win the chamber, like you said. Maybe Bianca could win the chamber. Yeah.
That's true.
Bianca, and then I got Nia Jax over here with Tiffany for WrestleMania. No, this is not my final prediction. I'm just thinking out loud here. But definitely Naomi and Jade is a possibility. But we'll get some more characters on here next week. I don't know. These are kind of the people that I think really have a chance. I can't think of anyone off the top of my head who would be a contender for the women's world title. But
all
right,
they did tease. I think in Raw they kind of teased a potential feud between Rhea and Io Sky. But I don't know. We'll see how that plays out. I don't know. We're gonna have to put that on hold and see.
Yeah,
we could also have a triple threat. There could also always be a 3-way where we got Charlotte or something. But I don't think that's gonna happen this time. But that's always a possibility. But all right, I gotta move on. We got a lot of more topics to get to, so it took a long time for Charlotte Flair, but I thought it was a very important thing this week.
Yeah, it was good.
Let's move on to Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn.
I love this.
Kevin Owens attacked Sami on Raw, and then on SmackDown. 4 days later, he explained himself, but it was through an X post, a video he posted, recorded from his car. So, just to summarize real quick, Sami Zayn lost CM Punk, and then KO attacked him. So on Saturday at the Royal Rumble, Sami was there to watch the Cody Rhodes KO match, but he didn't do anything. He was just there to show support, I guess. He didn't help KO though. And then on Friday on SmackDown, Kevin Owens did mention that, and he mentioned how Sami Zayn was so willing to go help Roman Reigns during the Royal Rumble, without even thinking about it. But when it came to KO, he couldn't help his best friend. But these two, okay, so looks like they're destined for a WrestleMania match. That's kind of not even a spoiler. I know I don't know the complete history of their feud. I know they feuded on the Indies, and then I think they were friends in WWE, and then they feuded again, and then they seem to have made up recently, and then now again another feud. So I don't know. Maybe they're just kind of the odd guys out. They have no one to face, so they're going to just face each other. They don't have any ideas for them this year. I don't know. But anyways, I'll start with Vlad this time. So I'm doing both of these together, the Raw and SmackDown angles for Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. So whatever thoughts you have about this week for them, and looks like them heading into a WrestleMania match. So what do you got? What do you got, Vlad? What do you got for us?
Well, Kevin Owens is just killing it lately. I mean, he killed it with the Cody angle, and that's kind of why I wish he at least had a short run with the title when that feud was going on. And here, no, I mean, it fit his character. Yeah, he blamed Sami for not helping him. If Sami had helped him, he'd won the title. Now, is it realistic for him to have actually wanted, or for Sami to have actually helped him in that situation and help him win the title? I don't know. I say probably not. But as it feels real to his character, the way he's been portrayed, so it makes sense. And then that stuff on SmackDown specifically, where he did the X or the tweet. I can't say. I don't know what the hell they call it.
The Twitter post, yeah. The Twitter
post,
as,
whatever.
As Bubba Ray Dudley would say.
The Twitter, yeah, on the Twitter. He would say, Taz, and go on the Twitter. Anyways, no, but anyway, so this was good. This was good stuff. You know how he said that he's what did he say? That he's a disgusting person or something to that effect. And that he helped Roman. Well, I mean, I don't remember.
He showed him all the scars too. Look at all the scars on his face. Like, look at what happened to me. This is all because of you, man. You could have helped me, but nothing.
Great. That was very good stuff. Yeah, I mean, Kevin Owens is doing a great job, and I think these guys have been wanting to have a WrestleMania match probably since they were in the Indies together. So this is probably like a dream come true for them that they're feuding going into WrestleMania. So yeah, good stuff.
So you think this all came together pretty well. All right, then. Robert, what do you think?
All right, so when Kevin Owens attacked Sami Zayn, I was excited about this. They have a lot of history together, and they've both been featured on several big angles recently, and have done a great job in their respective angles, especially Kevin Owens. So them feuding against each other, I think, is going to be tremendous. I'm really excited about this. Now on SmackDown, when Kevin Owens was giving his explanation, the thought that was going on in my head was, Kevin Owens is right.
That's right.
It's funny because there's been a lot of segments where Kevin Owens or Drew McIntyre, they talk about, whenever they talk about Roman Reigns, they talk about him as if he's still the big bad villain of WWE. He hasn't been a heel in almost a year. He's still referred to as like the biggest problem and like the villain in wrestling. But I don't know. I just find that funny. But I really loved Kevin Owens' explanation. It's something that actually makes sense, right? I can totally see his perspective, and that's what makes it really, really good. So yeah, can't wait to see how this feud develops.
All right, cool. So let's pick up the pace a tiny bit. I'm gonna move on to Monday Night Raw, but only one topic. So if you want our full review, I got our full review. We've already done it. It's in the description. I'll put a link to it in the description below. All these storylines and angles, me and Vlad and Robert, we went through them meticulously, and we got reviews for you over there. But I'm going to put 5 minutes on the clock for one storyline from Raw in particular, which is the Seth Rollins storyline. So Seth came out and he bragged about taking out Roman. So he took credit for at the Royal Rumble beating his ass afterwards, and supposedly they announced on the show that Roman is hurt. And then afterwards, he continued to run down CM Punk, saying that he doesn't deserve any success and he's going to do whatever he's got to do to fuck him over, right, basically. and he talked to Sami Zayn, and Sami Zayn was there, and Sami was facing CM Punk, and he really tried to motivate Sami to beat Punk, right? But anyway, so I'm gonna put 5 minutes on the clock, and I want reviews from you guys for this whole thing, just this storyline. So I know there was a lot of other things that happened on Raw, but people are gonna have to go to our review post and click on our blog post to get that. But I'll start with Vlad here. So Vlad, go ahead, and I'm gonna try to put some slides on in the background while you're talking.
Yeah, I mean, for this, I just yes, great. I'm glad you brought this up because this is all I remember from this is this what he was wearing. I said it to myself. I'm like, what the fuck is he wearing now, bro? That's all I can actually remember. Yeah, I remember he said to Sammy like, yeah, you need to win, and you need to like get Punk out of the elimination chamber if you win the qualifying. And then I know they had the as Seth was leaving, Punk's music played. They meet in the the entranceway, and they fight. Security comes in, referees, whatever, continuing their pretty great angle that they got going. But yeah, Seth's costumes, or I don't even know what to say, bro. I know
he looked kind of cool in this hat, though. That's not a bad outfit, I guess.
I don't know, man. It was just a little too much for me. All of his stuff is a little too much for me. I mean, I guess you could say it's a interesting style choice that he has, based on everything that he wears. But it's just a little. I don't completely understand. Plus, it doesn't really. I don't know.
Well, listen. Despite his motivating Sami Zayn lost to CM Punk. So Punk is in the elimination chamber. He still has a chance at fighting for a title. But anyways, do you see CM Punk and Seth Rollins fighting at WrestleMania? Is that something you're penciling in at this point with what's going on with this, or what?
Well, I think it's either that or Punk fights Cody. So it's going to be one or the other. So yes, if he wins the elimination chamber, then obviously yes, that's who it's going to be, him and Cody. And if he doesn't, then it's going to be because something that happened at the elimination chamber, which probably would mean that as long as Seth doesn't win the elimination chamber, it's going to be.
Seth has to screw him over. Seth is consuming his whole life now. It's like Drew McIntyre. He's like, I'm going to just make sure I got nothing to do. I'm just going to make sure Punk doesn't have his dream come true. But anyways,
so I agree. It's one of the
let me give Robert some time on this topic. So go ahead and talk about Seth Rollins and what's going on. You can talk about Roman too, because Roman's out. Yeah. But anything you got to say, man?
All right. Yeah. All right. About Seth Rollins' outfit. That's as silly as that is. That's still not anywhere near as ridiculous as some of his previous outfits. So, okay, this wasn't too bad, but it was still hard to take him seriously during this round. I mentioned in the previous segment that Kevin Owens and Drew McIntyre talks about Roman Reigns as he's still a big bad villain of WWE. Well, so does Seth apparently. Okay, this is kind of funny because Seth Rollins talks about himself as if he's the best in the business, and here he is trying to convince Sami Zayn that he could beat CM Punk when Seth Rollins himself couldn't beat him a few weeks ago. That's hilarious. But okay, I did predict CM Punk would win this. I'm not quite sure what's going to happen next. I do agree that there's a possibility of CM Punk versus Cody Rhodes. The way things have been building up, it looks like it could be CM Punk versus Seth instead, or a triple threat between him, Seth, and Roman, maybe. But the reason why I think CM Punk versus Cody is still a possibility is, he did mention a favor that Paul Heyman owes him some sort of favor. We still don't know what that favor is, so we'll see how that plays out. That's something we can't forget. So yeah, this is a hard WrestleMania to predict.
All right, well, with that segue, I'll just press pause on our 5 minutes, and you threw out some things there. So let me just let's see what I can piece together for you. So what did you thinking? What did you say again? Repeat what you just said. Let me see what you got. You got
I'll start with one that I think is not hard to predict, and I think that's Jey Uso versus Gunther.
All
That
right.
one, yeah, I'm pretty sure he's gonna choose Gunther.
Jey Uso for the World Heavyweight title against
Uh-huh.
Gunther. All right.
What's not as easy to predict is who's gonna face Cody Rhodes. Um, I would like it to be CM Punk, but who knows? Again, just like with the women, we don't know who all the participants in the Elimination Chamber are. But as far as the title picture, I can't see John Cena.
you can't
Ca-
you can't see him at
You don't
all.
think you can't see John Cena being in that?
Uh,
Man, I could see John Cena being in that WWE title match.
okay.
I
I
guess,
was just kidding. I mean, it's
but
still a possibility, but
I could see it happening. I mean, dude, he's John Cena. He's his last year. Shouldn't he go out on top, winning like he always does? Like that's the only thing that would make sense for Cena is to go out the Cena way,
I,
winning at
I don't.
WrestleMania.
I don't think he's gonna win. Even if he does get that shot against Cody, I don't see him beating
All right,
Cody.
but are you seeing Sammy versus KO? Is that something that you're gonna pencil in? Probably.
Yeah, yeah, I think that
Okay.
would be a great WrestleMania match.
All right. So then, what did you say about Roman? Do I have Roman on here? So you said a triple threat between Roman and who? Seth Rollins.
Roman, CM Punk, and Seth. I don't, I don't know if that's gonna be for the. I don't think that's gonna be for a title. It could be like its own separate match.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's put a hold on this one. I got some things for you here. I got
Mhm.
Solo Sikoa over here, and he reminds me that we need to go talk about SmackDown. So let me put 5 minutes on the clock for SmackDown here. Our next topic is going to be Solo's return. So here we go. February 7th. And this is another thing that throws a wrench into it because you got to find a spot on the card for Solo somehow. So he's somewhere in the mix. But once again, if you want our complete review of SmackDown, all the storylines, all the angles, we've already done that. There's a link in the description below. But for the purposes of today, I just want to talk about Solo's return. Today's topic, Solo's return. So let me pull up some slides and I'll start with Vlad on this one. I'll ask you what you thought of it. Were you surprised? Was it is there? I don't know. I guess you could talk about how you think he's going to figure into WrestleMania and everything. But for the angle today, I guess Jey Uso came out. He was going to talk about who he was going to face. You know, maybe Cody because he talked to Gunther on Monday. But Solo's old boys came out, Jacob Fatu and Tama Tonga, and it turned into like a tag team match because well, Jacob Fatu says he wants the title back for his family, right? So he's out there still advocating for the bloodline, I guess. And then Jey Uso said he still doesn't know who he's going to fight. So Cody asked him. But this turned into a tag team match that the good guys won. Cody and Jey Uso won. And then at the end of the match, a hooded figure came out and it was Solo. So Solo's back, baby. Not the leader of the bloodline anymore, but still going after Cody and attacking Cody. Gosh darn it. All right, let me get thoughts from Vlad. 5 minutes on the clock for SmackDown only, so maybe leave a couple minutes for Robert, if
Oh,
you
for sure,
will.
for sure,
But go
for
ahead,
sure.
Vlad, the wrestling expert.
Well, I mean, you asked if I was surprised that he came back. I was because I was just about to turn off the show, and then all of a sudden, here he
Yeah,
comes.
3 hours, and they could only wait until the last fucking 30 seconds to show us
Well, I could have
Solo's
been
back.
wrong, but I thought the credits were already rolling, but maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe it was just the way I saw it. So I was like, okay, this show's over, and then all of a sudden, oh, who's that in the hood? Oh yeah, Tech Code. Oh, it's Solo. You know, it was a cool little thing that they did at the end there. So definitely a surprise how he fits into everything. Well, I don't think he fits into the world title picture. Like I know I know Jacob mentioned in the promo that they want the title back, which is fine, but I don't think it's gonna be something that is settled by this WrestleMania with them at the very least. I think they're working an angle with Priest and LA Knight, and I think that's kind of where they're going to be more working with. I think Solo will go more into that than working with Cody. Though I guess he could have a match with with maybe Jimmy, I guess that's a possibility. I don't know. I haven't thought about that part of it yet, but he's
Okay,
not going to be
that's a
fighting
good
for the
one.
title. He's definitely not going to be fighting for the title.
All right, all right. And then we all gave this segment a thumbs up, so we all liked it. There are higher ratings for us than a thumbs up, but I don't know how excited I could be about Solo returning. I like the guy. I kind of
Yeah.
feel like they should give him something, especially since he's taken so many losses, clean losses to Cody and to Roman. I kind of feel like he's such a good character. Like they should give him something for WrestleMania, some
Yeah.
type of really good, strong victory. But I don't know. All right, Robert, let's hear what your thoughts are on this matter. Solo
Well,
Sikoa's return.
okay, before I talk about Solo's return, I want to say that I thought Jacob Fatu was incredible
Oh,
on
yeah.
SmackDown. He's, now that I think about it, I think he's probably my favorite wrestler to watch at the moment. It's
Oh,
just so
he's
fun.
tremendous. He's
He's
tremendous.
great. So the thing is, what kind of confuses me is that Solo showed up right after the end of the match with Jacob Fatu and Tama Tonga versus LA Knight and Damian Priest, right? So he came in right after that. I thought when he walked away from the bloodline, like that was him cutting ties with them. I don't know if this means he still has a connection with them or not. I'm not sure. So I guess we'll find out next week. I'm not sure what this means for Solo as far as the title picture, since he did attack Cody. I have no idea. I don't know. He's got. You said it yourself, Keon, many times that this is the continued burial of Solo. Like there's only so many times you could do that to him until like we can't take him seriously anymore. So I'm not sure. I don't know where this. I don't know.
Okay. All right. Well, let me move on then. So we've already gotten some of your WrestleMania matchup predictions, but that is my next topic. I guess we could do this with Vlad too, just for fun. This is very preliminary, Vlad, so this is not your final predictions, but I got the same page for you here. So, what can you give me?
I can give you, for sure, I can give you Jey Uso and Gunther. I think that's pretty much locked.
All right, Jey Uso and Gunther. What else?
I would say Sammy and Kevin Owens is also a lock. That's
All right.
that's for sure going to happen. So that won't be for
Sammy.
that won't be for title. I'm gonna go. I guess I'm gonna go Cena. It's not a lock. But I think it's gonna be Cena Cody.
Cena and Cody. Interesting.
Yeah.
For the undisputed WWE title.
Yeah,
I guess I could see that because Cena could just put Cody over.
I think what's going to happen is Seth and Punk are going to cost each other somehow, and neither of them are going to win. So they're going to have a match at WrestleMania. The question is what Roman does.
Yeah, there's Roman. There's Solo. There's also Drew McIntyre over here.
Right. I don't know. I think instead of Roman being in a triple threat with Seth and CM, which would obviously be a great triple threat given the star power, I prefer he work with Drew in a one-on-one match, to be honest. So I would put Roman with Drew.
All right, so that's a preliminary right now.
Yeah.
It's not final predictions, but okay. That's not bad.
Yeah.
That's what I want to happen. I want Drew and Roman to face off. They need to settle that because Drew has been like talking about that forever. It's like never gonna leave his head. He should have a match with him. And then I guess I'll see. I like this. I think this is pretty much it.
This could be it. I'm not saying I'm not locking all of those in, but I would say that the majority of them could be at the very least.
The one thing I was thinking, if I was thinking out loud, Vlad, I know this is not my final prediction, but what if Jay picked Cody?
Right, and you said that to me, I think, over the phone, maybe.
Yeah, and then that would throw a wrench into a lot of other things, which I don't think is going to happen because they set up Gunther and Jay pretty well. But I'm saying if he wanted to. And then that would leave Gunther open to face like John Cena, who could win the Elimination Chamber.
Hmm.
And
But
then that could
Sorry, I'll let you finish.
go. No, go ahead. What were you gonna say?
No, but I think in your scenario with Jay and Cody, I think you mentioned something about Jay turning heel, and I don't think they're anywhere near that right now with the crowd reaction that he's getting. They can't get to that level. If anything, they have a better chance of turning Cody heel, believe it or not, than Jay right now. There's no way you could turn Jay Uso heel right now, even if you tried. Like, it's just not going to happen. I mean, and he wouldn't want to, really. I mean, he's actually, I can't believe I'm saying it, but Jay Uso is actually money for the company right now. So you can't really do it, you know. So
They need to keep the Yeet party going. So
yeah. As long as the crowd is into the Yeet, then they might as well just ride that gravy train, you know.
And then Roman obviously has to fight Solo because Solo's got to get the bloodline back. He should just take that necklace
oh
back,
god,
baby.
oh,
And then
That's not going to happen.
Other than that, we got the basics. We got KO. We got Sammy. We got Seth Rollins. We got CM Punk. And then Drew McIntyre and Damian Priest. I guess I could see having a match.
Oh, that's right. Damian Priest did eliminate him in the room.
Yeah,
I guess.
But it didn't seem to really piss off. Like Drew did not talk about that.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. This is not my final prediction either. I'm just thinking out loud. But anyways, let's move along. I'll come back to
wait, real quick. I was gonna say, speaking of Drew, speaking of Drew specifically, I guess we did get confirmation that it was LA Knight that he was angry about, right?
Oh yeah.
LA Knight mentioned it in the promo, like, you know, I got to get all my stuff in, as he said, you know, and that was kind of good, you know. But they put that in an angle, or they put that in the promo, you know. I thought that was kind of cool. They probably legitimate heat that Drew had with LA Knight, and they kind of put that in. It's great that they had legitimate heat, but with WWE, they kind of, what they do is, like, okay, if you do have legitimate heat, we'll put you in a program right away together. I think that's fantastic, honestly. You know, I think that's kind of great. Like, let's work it out in the ring, work it out on TV. You know, I think that's pretty good.
All right, well, let me move along. We're basically done talking about our modern wrestling for the week. I think I need to remind the fans out there that I am reviewing NXT and Impact. Well, Robert does NXT with me. I do Impact by myself. But there is that new contract, that deal that WWE signed with TNA, and I am covering the NXT TNA crossover. So this week, or last week's reviews of NXT and Impact, I have already done. Robert joined me on the NXT one, so that's in the description below. The links are in there. There's a lot of good stuff in there, man. So Fraxium, you know, Cora Jade is on NXT and TNA. So Fraxium defended the NXT titles on Impact last week. So it's a lot of cool stuff. It's exciting. So if you're really nerdy and geeky about wrestling, you can go check out our NXT and TNA reviews. So that's that. I'm not going to do that on this show this week because we got other things we want to talk about, like our friends at AEW. How about 5 minutes for AEW? What about that? Oh, you guys, you have this link in your text, right, to this blog post. So this is our only Choose Your Angle today. So if you want to pull up this page, you'll have the list of angles or the list of storylines for our 5 minutes of AEW. So I'm going to go through what are what I thought were the main storylines or the main things that happened. I chose 4 of them. So there's Dustin Rhodes and MJF. Had a cool little moment. Dustin Rhodes was tired of MJF. Toni Storm came out as Mariah May.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe outdid Mariah May in her own outfit, but that'll be up to you guys to count. Ricochet took Prince Nana's jacket / robe or whatever. And then Big Bill and Powerhouse Hobbs is back from injury, so they continued that. So here's the list I sent you guys. Choose your topic. So I'm going to reset the clock to 5 minutes. That's all we're giving AEW this week. So I'll start with Robert. Try to leave a couple minutes for Vlad, if you could, and then go through any of these topics I have on the screen. And I'm going to try to, if you have this on your phone, because I'm going to try to go through slides and play some slides in the background of whatever you're talking about. So we'll go ahead.
All right, it'll probably just take me a New York minute to talk about a Dynamite.
Oh my God.
Uh, all right, I'll talk about the Dustin Rhodes MJF promo battle. Now,
Oh,
it
okay.
wasn't it wasn't the best promo battle I've ever seen, especially when it comes to ones involving MJF. But when compared to the one that he had against Jeff Jarrett, this was gold.
Yeah.
I thought this is a lot better. Um, yeah, I mean, I don't know what more to say about that. They both did great. Dustin did better than Jeff Jarrett did for sure. Um, well,
That
most
was
people
intense. I
can.
really, I really, really, actually, I was on the verge of loving that segment. I think I did because they had a
Mm,
fight and then they had a little
oh
promo
yeah.
too. They had a little pro. Oh, and then when MJF got pulled apart by security and then he ran
Mhm.
ran back in the ring and fucking low blowed.
Oh
Great
yeah.
looking low blow. Great looking low blow. And then the promo afterwards I thought was really good too. I would play it, but I'm not sure we have time today. But Dustin
All right.
Rhodes' promo, I think, what did he call MJF a bitch or something? But yeah, all
Yeah.
right.
I
What else,
I
Robert?
I
What
did, I
else?
did well specifically regarding that promo battle. I thought that was cool. At the end of their exchange right before Dustin hit him, where MJF said, you spent all these years trying to get out of the shadow of your father, and now you're in the shadow of your little baby brother. Before he could say the word brother, he got punched in the face.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That was great.
that's hilarious.
That was
That
awesome.
pissed off Dustin. All
Yeah,
right,
this
what
was
about
this was
what
great.
about the glamour Tony Storm? What did you think of this? This was actually your highest rated segment on our Dynamite
Yeah.
review. This one
Um,
you gave the highest
yes,
rating.
I love this for all the wrong reasons. I'm kidding.
All right. I get you.
No, I mean, yeah, this was fun to watch.
We love this
And because
as much as Mariah hated it, but
pretty much, yeah, I mean, Tony Storm kind of gave Mariah a taste of her own medicine. Could Mariah pulled off a stunt like this? I think uh, during the build up to their feud, didn't she? Well, she dressed up as Tony Storm quite a few times, if I remember correctly.
I
So
think when she first came into the company, she was dressed up as
yeah,
Tony
yeah,
Storm, right? Yeah.
pretty much. So yeah, this was great. I really enjoyed this. Yeah, all right, I'll leave the rest of the time to Vlad.
all right, Vlad, what do you want to talk about
Yeah. I
from
mean,
AEW? We got 2
for,
minutes and
for
22 seconds.
for sure, the best part of the show was Dustin and MJF. I thought that
Ah,
was
okay.
that was
All right.
well done. Dustin Rhodes, so of course he cuts a tremendous promo. There was such fire in that promo, such authenticity, talking about his demons, talking about he's actually seen the devil, and MJF is not the devil. I thought that was great. All that stuff was great. Uh,
Well, how is Dustin Rhodes so good and yet like in such
mm,
squalor? Like, can they do something better with him? It seems like every time he's in a feud, it's like one of the best things ever. Like when he was feuding
yeah,
with Cody, like
yeah.
he can really bring some good stuff. But I don't know if he's just like, is he spending too much time as a teacher
I think
and he
that's what
doesn't
it
want to
is.
be in the
I
Yeah,
think
ring or
at this
something?
point,
I
the
don't know.
mentor role.
I think he wants to be the mentor role, the coach, the putting guys in the right positions, type of thing, getting guys over. So I think he's even going to do that with MJF, and I'm glad he is because MJF has kind of not been not MJF's fault, or mostly not his fault. He's given the material, he's given the people that they want him to work with. It's just all been bad since he came back, and he had that moment where he had he had that tattoo of AEW. I mean, he's got to burn that off soon, because it's just going.
I I don't know
It's
if it
getting,
was real, but maybe it wasn't real.
well,
Hopefully, it
whatever.
was a temporary tattoo.
Hopefully, he just it was one of those sticker tattoos. Okay, that's even funnier.
Hopefully,
Okay, but the point there is that when MJF works with like the veterans, even the Jeff Jarrett thing, it has at least it's something. Like, yeah, I agree. This Dustin thing blew the Jeff Jarrett thing out of the water. Like already, much better than whatever the heck they had going on with Jeff Jarrett. Only because Dustin is like really real. Like you could tell he's been through a lot of shit in his life. He's had it probably hard, and whatever. Like you could just tell it's all authentic. It's all real. Like it's none of it is fake. None of it is written for him either. He just says it. You could tell that it's not somebody that a scriptwriter wrote for him. That's for sure. You know. That's what makes it good. That's what makes him good.
The devil isn't MJF. It's alcohol demons and drugs. You're not the devil, MJF. You don't know the devil.
Yeah, I thought that was fantastic.
Bitch.
Okay, the bitch part I thought was a little silly, but nonetheless, okay.
That's Okada's thing.
That's true. I'm no beach. Anyways, the other thing I want to say is my wandering keen eye had to at least mention the Tony Storm.
Yeah, you're out of time. You're out of time, Vlad. You had 5 minutes. You didn't.
Well, we can make time for this.
No.
I'll just say real quick.
I'm moving along to Powerhouse Hub.
Okay. Well, then I have nothing to say. Then we can move on. I don't have anything to say about Power Hub.
I get you, Vlad. We get it. It was a nice segment. Nothing about Ricochet. Nothing about Ricochet, huh? Stealing Prince Nana's coat.
I don't really care. No.
All right. Well, I'm liking that feud, but okay. I'm
cool.
looking forward to where that goes. All right, but that's our 5 minutes of AEW. If anyone wants to watch any more of our AEW reviews, you got to go to our blog post. It's in the description below. But I'm gonna move on. What else do I have left to talk about? I think that's it. I think we're gonna go on to our retro stuff. So we have some time. I don't think it'll take us that long. We're doing a Monday Night Raw that was only 50 minutes long. Robert, you watch the show or what?
I did not.
That's cool. What about last week? Did you see our review of last week's Raw that you weren't here for? Did you watch that one back? Because that was September 9th, 1 week before this. Not much happened.
No.
Stone Cold, I think, got eliminated from that Intercontinental title tournament, if I remember. But anyways, if anyone needs to catch up on anything, because we started doing 1996 WWF after SummerSlam, so we have a post-SummerSlam playlist that I made, Robert. It's all here. Let me click on it and see what it looks like. But I think it has everything that we've done. Yeah, so starting on August 19th, September 6th, September 9th. So we've done 3 shows already. And that's all here. I'll put a link to that in the description. But we're up to September 16th. And Robert was with us for a review of our September 16th WCW Nitro. So we did this one a while ago last week. So we also have a playlist of WCW in 1996. So if anyone wants to go to that playlist. But this show, this was the day when Sting turned his back on WCW, right? Because they didn't trust in him and they thought he was the guy but when it was really an imposter. So after War Games, he proved it was an imposter, and when he came back, he told all the WCW and the fans that they can stick it, right? So this is what WWF had on in opposition to that, and I think it was you would call this a pretty down time in WWF history, Vlad?
Yes.
Yeah, I was reading someone's review of this show because I'm relying on old reviews of people, and I think a lot of people did mention that this is a kind of the bottom of the barrel of where WWF was. They were losing to WCW in the ratings, and their storylines were suffering. So anyways, we have a review of this. Me and Vlad have done this already, and I'm going to go through these angles with Robert right now just so, he can know what happened on this day. We're going back in time now, guys. 1996, September 16th. This is the Malapert Smark rating system. We've been using this system since the turn of this year. But this is how we rate storylines and angles and such. So let me go to the first storyline. I got Jake the Snake Roberts, huh? Jake the Snake Roberts is back. Hold on, let me pull up the TV for you guys. Let me take off this picture of Okada, the Continental Champion.
He's always there. It seems like he's always looking at me.
Champion.
Tell him to stop looking at me again.
He's no bitch.
Yeah, that's for sure. Oh, Lord.
All right, sorry about that. So Jake the Snake is back. So we've been watching about 3 weeks of Raws, and I think at SummerSlam, Jerry the King Lawler had a match with Jake the Snake. So I guess he's back. We don't really know what's going on in this feud. We kind of jumped in the middle of it. And he just kind of chased him around the announce table. So Jake, literally King is running away from Jake the Snake Roberts as soon as the show starts. This is the instant the show starts. And Jake is coming out for a match, but he runs after King, and King runs away. So But he does re-enter the commentary booth, so they jaw jack at each other during Jake the Snake's matchup. So Jake the Snake is having a matchup, and he's facing, I'll tell you who he's facing in a second, but throughout the match, he is jaw-jacking with King, and King's a little afraid of him. So this feud, we're kind of jumping in the middle of this one. But who Jake the Snake was facing was interesting. So this is the second storyline that I'm going to go to. By the way, the whole Jake the Snake and King Lawler thing, it looks like Vlad gave it a half thumbs up on our rating system. I gave it a 0, nothing. But the match that Jake the Snake was going to have was against a guy called the Sultan, Robert. So
Okay.
the Sultan is here, and he is the new guy of Bob Backlund's stable. So Bob Backlund, former WWF champion, has got the Iron Sheik to be the trade. Here's Bob Backlund. He's joining commentary for this one. And here's the Sultan, and that's the Iron Sheik taking off the Sultan's hat, I guess. Do you know who this is, Robert? The Sultan?
Nope. I don't remember. No.
It's Rikishi.
Wait, it is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
There it is. So he has a match with Jake the Snake here, which he ends up winning. They make him look really good. I think he looks menacing. Oh, and they also told a story. The reason he has a mask, the announcers, the commentators told a story that he was in the war or in a war, and he got captured and he had his tongue cut out. He doesn't have a tongue. He can't speak. I guess that's his
Whoa.
backstory. That's his backstory.
He was
So
a prisoner of war.
He was a prisoner of war. He had his tongue cut out, so that's why he's such a badass. And he made Jake the Snake tap out to the camel clutch, so he wins the match. And here's the Iron Sheik with, I don't know why the Iron Sheik has the Iranian flag, but okay, he just always has that.
Yeah.
But there you go. There's our second storyline for the day. And what did we give this? I gave it a half thumbs up. Vlad on this one didn't give it anything. Vlad gave it an indifferent. But I thought Bob Backlund on commentary was kind of funny because he was trying to tell JR, like, don't piss me off. I'm trying to be a gentleman today. I don't want to, I don't want to go crazy on you. So I thought the Bob Backlund personality. As for the guy, what's his name? The Sultan?
The Sultan.
Yeah, it seems like a bad character. I don't know. I don't know if this goes on any further or whatever the hell. But okay.
This was common in the mid '90s, so I don't know. There was a lot of characters like that.
A lot of stuff like this, going on in WWF at this time.
All right, well, I'm going to move on, though. I'm going to move on to my third storyline of the day. I got 10, so in 1 hour, they squeezed in 10 little storylines. So this one was the whole Brian Pillman thing, and they're expecting to see Bret Hart at Mind Games. So this is what they've been talking about, that Brian Pillman has been saying that he's got Bret Hart coming, that he's going to interview him. They're friends from the Hart Dungeon, and Owen also says, like, they put everything behind them. And here's a picture of it. Hold on one second. Got the TV. There's Brian Pillman and Owen Hart, and I'm going to play a little clip. I'm going to go watch along mode. We're going to do Stone Cold. So Stone Cold jumps into this, Robert, because he's waiting to speak to Bret Hart. So maybe Vlad can explain this a little further, but Stone Cold's been wanting to face Bret Hart, it seems, for a while. He's trying to get in, and talk some business with him. But let's hear Stone Cold interject on this one right here.
Who really cares? Because I'm going to be there, Bret, and I'm going to get my answers firsthand, son, because the bottom line is Stone Cold is the best there is.
That's it.
Okay.
That was it. So if anyone wanted to know what Stone Cold sounded like. But anyway, so Stone Cold had been bringing up kind of often, from what I hear from commentary, like I've heard JR mention this, that before Stone Cold has been saying he wants a match with Bret, because Bret says he's the best there is, best there was. So if you've got ambition and you want to climb the rankings, you should want a match with the best there is and the best there was, right, Vlad? So,
well, that's true. That's true. I agree with that part of it.
Well, interesting thing that happens later is that we get actually a clip from Bret. So Bret's on tour in where are they? South Africa.
South Africa.
WWF is on tour with South Africa, and they get a video from him, and he says that he doesn't know what Brian Pillman's talking about. That he's not going to get submit to an interview or appear like anything that they've been saying at the pay-per-view on Sunday. So the pay-per-view is on Sunday, and Bret Hart refutes that he's going to show up. Well, that's all I got on this one. So you got any comments on this so far, Vlad? Let's see what your ratings was on this. Thumbs up from you. Thumbs up.
Yeah.
You like this? I mean, I don't know. On this day, I didn't think like that little Stone Cold promo, and them in the back excited that Bret's going to be here, and then Bret sending in a video that I'm not going to be there. I didn't think it was that great a storyline on this day, but okay. What do you got to say about it?
Yeah, I agree. It wasn't the best, but I also think, given what I know happened with all of this stuff, maybe that's where my judgment is. How I decided to give it a thumbs up, because I know it's leads to good things.
I see. Okay, so I was kind of trying to grade it in a bubble, and
Sure.
you're seeing like, this has a payoff, so that's why your rating kind of has to do with that. But okay.
Plus, I also think at this time, I could be wrong timeline-wise. Maybe it's not the case at this point, but I believe Bret was actually deciding if he was going to stay with the WWF at this time or not, or actually go to WCW even here in '96. So I don't know if maybe this is already passed or not passed. I can't remember now. Maybe he's already agreed. I don't remember the timeline as far as that goes. But given that he appeared on their TV, even if it was a taped thing from South Africa, you would think that maybe he had already agreed to come back. So anyways, I'll leave it at that.
Another interesting thing was, because we do know that Stone Cold and Bret end up fighting at the next WrestleMania.
Right.
So this is like a little bit of that part of that storyline. Like if I was making a compilation DVD of everything that led up to Bret and Stone Cold fighting, I guess this is something that could be in there, because Stone Cold stuck his neck into the camera shot, and he's like, "Hey, all right, so you guys are saying Bret's coming back? Well, I'm gonna be there to talk to him, because I got some business with this guy." But all right, so I'm gonna move on to our fourth storyline of the day. Let's see what we got next. We got Camp Cornette's presence at ringside cost the Smoking Guns ahead of tag title match at Mind Games. All right, so this is interesting. Let's break some of this down. Let me pull up some images first. So at first, I guess I was doing research on this era, and I thought Sunny's only client was Farouk, but it turns out she's coming out with Bart Gunn and Billy Gunn, Mr. Ass.
Gunn.
Yeah,
later, Mr. Ass. Yes.
Yeah, we have covered some Billy Gunn on this channel before as Daddy Ass in AEW, but here he is in his younger days, just as Billy Gunn. And they're the tag team champions, and here they come out with Sunny. So I guess she does have some other guy. I don't know how this came about or how long she's been managing them, but okay. So they're feuding with so Sunny cut a promo for them to start to open their match, and she unveiled a big banner. It looks like it could be a banner that they hang up for a Lakers championship or something. It's like that huge picture of Sunny. So all right, so here she is. She's with the tag team champions. They're facing off against I think some jobbers, but Camp Cornette comes out because what's his name? The British Bulldog and Owen Hart are going to face off against what I was going to say, the Gun Club.
Oh gosh!
I was going to say the Gun Club. Yeah. So they come out and they just have a seat by ringside, and then a slight distraction. I guess Owen Hart gets on a ring apron, and this costs the Smoking Guns their match. And afterwards, Jim Cornette's laughing at them and everything. And there was a funny moment I forgot to play when Sunny and Jim Cornette were kind of jaw-jacking at each other, and Cornette sprays her with his water bottle across the ring. But anyways, so Cornette does come out, and they cost them, and Sunny's all pissed, and they have a loss against a shitty team, basically. And I think this is the last we'll see of the Smoking Guns as champions, because Camp Cornette's going to take these titles from them at Mind Games. So it might be the last we see of the Smoking Guns. They might break up soon after this, but other than that, I thought it was some nice, horseplay outside the ring with Jim Cornette there. He's pretty funny. Sunny had a chance to shine, but let's see the ratings we got for this. Half thumbs up, both of us. So nothing amazing. But if you have any comments you want to make about the Smoking Guns or Cornette here or Sunny or anything, now's your chance, Vlad.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, I'm a fan of Owen Hart, Bulldog, Cornette. Yeah, I don't really. I was a little surprised when she came out with the smoking guns because we've been watching a couple of shows now, and they haven't even referenced that they are the tag team champions or that she's with them or anything. So, I mean, I do remember her being with them, like in my when I look back on my wrestling memories and stuff like that. But I just thought that already passed, and maybe that happened like earlier in the year '96, but not at this point. So I was a little surprised when she came out with them and they had the belts too. It was an okay segment, like nothing special.
All right. Let me move on then. So this is something that's been interesting. We've been covering this too. So this is the whole Hall and Nash thing. So they've been teasing that Diesel and Razor and Hall and Nash are coming back somehow to WWF, specifically Jim Ross. But on this episode here, the WWF president, Gorilla Monsoon, gets on the air, and he refutes everything JR says about Hall and Nash coming back. But JR insists that the two will return next week, actually. So, Robert, you weren't with us last week, but we covered, there was a segment where...
is that when he said that there was some sort of contract snafu?
Oh, yeah. He said they were going to come back, but because I announced it, I fucked up. And so they made JR take the fall in the storyline. So he's like, because I announced it, now there's negotiation issues, right? But they're still coming, from what I hear. So I'm going to play you, we're going to do a watch along of Gorilla Monsoon playing, or here's the part where during the match between, let's see, who was fighting here? Oh, this is the Smoking Guns match, okay. So JR announces, so this is the first time he's going to announce Diesel and Nash are coming back next week. So listen closely, Robert.
It certainly is. I'll tell you something, ladies and gentlemen, we talked about that bombshell announcement. This is earth-shattering. I guarantee you, right here, ladies and gentlemen, this. And listen very closely to what I'm about to say. Here comes the WWF National Richard Simmons. Right here next week, live on Raw, Razor Ramon and Diesel will be in the ring. They'll be here live. They'll be here next week. We'll be in Hershey, Pennsylvania next Monday night live. And I guarantee you that Big Daddy Cool Diesel and Razor Ramon will be standing right there in the ring right here next week, and it's going to be live. I promise you that. I'm in a little bit of shock here. It is a bombshell.
It's going to be live. That's quite a bombshell announcement, Vlad, for some silly-ass thing. That's pretty definitive. They're going to be here next fucking week, huh? Okay. All right. So let me play you next the Gorilla Monsoon response. So here's Gorilla's response to Jim Ross.
State Center in Philadelphia, the site of In Your House Mind Games. And speaking of live, standing by right now, World Wrestling Federation President Gorilla Monsoon. We heard earlier the bombshell by Jim Ross that Razor Ramon and Diesel will be here live on Raw next Monday. And Mr. Monsoon, we wanted to talk to you about the World Wrestling Federation's official stance on this matter.
Well, Jim Ross, you have really piqued my curiosity as to who will actually be appearing on the program next week. Because I can tell you officially from the WWF offices that Kevin Nash and Scott Hall will not be appearing, as both of these individuals are currently under contract to another organization. I would like to apologize to all the fans of the WWF who feel that they have been hoodwinked or misled by Jim Ross's statement, and with that in mind, I will remain here in the studio for the rest of the program to monitor it and make sure that no other misleading statements are made. And should they be made, I will invoke my presidential privilege and come down severely on the perpetrator.
All right. Thank you, President Monsoon. Ladies and gentlemen, Jim Ross has left the announced position. Based upon the look on his face, he's rather perturbed by the comments of President Monsoon as we take you now to the king.
You got the big match coming up.
All right, so there's something else going on in the ring, which I'll get to in a second, Robert, with Jim Cornette and Vader. But that was the Gorilla Monsoon refusing Jim Ross's announcement, right? And then JR left. I guess JR said, I'm pissed. This guy's like, questioning my integrity and my reporting. So JR left the announce booth. Then he comes back later. This is during the, I guess, Owen Hart versus Mark Miro match, so which we'll get to later. But listen to what JR says. Again, he doubles down. He's like, no, man, I'm not fucking with you guys. These guys are coming next week.
I got a question for you, Jim Ross.
What's that, King?
I thought you and Gorilla Monsoon were friends. I thought you guys were old buddies.
Well, we are friends. At least I think we are.
Well, I never saw one friend question another friend's integrity. I mean, he came out here live tonight, and he
called you a hoodwinker. Well, I'm a little bit hurt by that. He said you were misleading the public. What about that? I haven't misled anybody. I don't care what anybody says. I'm not misleading anybody.
Hold on a minute, fellas. This is Gorilla Monsoon. I'm still in the studio here as promised. And Jim, we're not talking friendship here. We're talking business. I think as a conscientious broadcast journalist, you need to more closely scrutinize your sources.
Gorilla, of all the years we've broadcast together and all the thousands of miles we've traveled together, have I ever misled you one time? Give me one example.
No, you have not, but
So
nothing has come across my desk that would indicate Kevin Nash or Scott Hall returning here to the World Wrestling
Well, let
Federation.
me tell you that everything that happens in the WWF doesn't necessarily have to go across your desk.
Well, let me tell you this, Jim Ross. We'll only have to wait a week to find out just how credible you are. There's plenty of action going on, so let's get back to the ring.
Certainly is. Thank you very much, President Gorilla Monsoon. And this is a very exclusive situation, the return of Razor Ramon and Diesel to the World Wrestling.
And Vlad, they do use their names Hall and Nash, which is interesting because they weren't Hall and Nash on this show. But okay, let me see. Do I have any other clips from this? I think they do. They did talk about it for like another minute and a half longer. JR doubles down and whatnot. But let me get our ratings for this. So me and Vlad have a rating for this so far already. I actually like this today. Today it had more spunk in it with the whole Gorilla Monsoon thing today. You know, it was better than last week where Kevin Kelly was just like, yeah, really? He's coming back? Okay, that sounds great. So you gave this a half thumbs up. I don't know. I kind of thought it was more official and more serious today. The whole thing between Gorilla and JR I thought was pretty good. So I gave it a good rating. I gave it a thumbs up. So you gave it a half thumbs up. Any comments you want to make? Because this is going to be another clip for us. We've been doing this whole storyline so far. So this will be like the third little clip, 3 weeks in a row of this. What are you thinking so far?
I mean, something that I've been saying, and that Robert had said previously when we were reviewing this, it just seems like a desperate ploy by the WWF at this time because they were getting their asses kicked to even come up with this type of
they're so
thing
serious about it too, like Hall and Nash.
Yeah, like the fact that there's a contract snafu. Oh, let's bring Gorilla Monsoon, and he's like, we'll just say, hey, why would you even bring these guys up knowing that they're just killing it at the other company right now? Just don't even bring up their names. So if there are people that are not watching WCW, don't give them a reason to go watch WCW. Saying, hey, these guys are our competitors, and they're not coming back next week after all. You know, I don't know. This whole thing was just not well thought out by the powers that be that let this air, or let this whole angle air.
All right, well, Robert, we did a watch along on this. That was pretty much all of it from the episode. So you could give this one some thoughts and some ratings. What do you think?
This was a mess. I don't know what rating I would give it, but this is a mess. WWE, well, they were called WWF at the time. That they messed up.
Maybe this is a thumbs down, huh? Maybe this is a thumbs down.
Yeah.
Fucking angle. I'm not sure.
Oh, the whole angle for sure is.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let me move on then. So I'm halfway through this. Let's go on to the sixth storyline that I've got. Okay, so this was what was going on while after that whole Gorilla Monsoon thing, and we cut to this. It was Jim Cornette holding a public workout because he's going to have a match with Jose Lothario, which is Shawn Michaels' manager, right? So you remember, I don't know if you remember a couple weeks ago, Robert, when Jim Cornette jumped Jose Lothario, who was out there managing Shawn Michaels, and Cornette just attacked him, you know, and so that set up a match between them. And last week you weren't here, but Jose Lothario cut a promo in Spanish on Cornette, saying he was going to kick his ass and all this stuff. So that's interesting. So Cornette is having a match, and he's 6 days away, and he's holding a public workout. So, all right, I might do a watch along on this one just because I want Vlad's opinion on this. I actually have a question for him. So
you do? Oh boy,
I do. So here's Jim Ross in the ring, and he brought Vader with him because Vader's this guy. He manages Vader. So he's here to do a public workout with a jobber. So he's here to just do some moves. It's not really like a match or anything. It's sort of like an exhibition. But I'll do a watch along mode for this one. Let's press play. And Vlad, I guess my question would be, for all of Cornette crying and complaining and this and that about everybody selling out the business, here he is, a fat dude, going in there and trying to do wrestling moves with a jobber, but a professional wrestler. But okay, is he selling out the business himself a little bit here? But that's going to be my ultimate question. But let's just play it first and let's see how it goes.
All right. But I have an answer, by the way.
Public workout. A little bit of an exhibition of the skills of James E. Cornette. Let's just stand over here. What do you think?
Lawler just answered that question.
Come on, look at he's a hamburger.
Not a wrestling match, it's just a workout. He obviously don't know the rules. Oh, headlock! Beautiful standing side headlock. Squeeze him, Jimmy.
Cornette was so chunky, man. He was so chunky.
Hey, Tony Williams.
He was very.
What's the matter with
He
you?
even said that he was very fat here.
Let's see what Jimmy Cornette can do. Not much so far. Go ahead.
All right, so Cornette's getting some holds on this guy, but in the end, he's kind of losing. But
As we speak, we're seeing
side headlock takeover. Okay, good basics there. at least he could take a. What the fuck? What is this?
He just starts wailing away on this guy. On poor Cornette.
Oh shit.
Uh-oh.
Man.
I had a feeling that's what this workout was going to be all about. You got to wonder if Vader's going to be at Cornette's side this Sunday at Mind Games. Go, come on.
And then that's it. So he ties up this poor guy on the ropes and berates him as if he's Jose Lothario, and then they go to commercial break.
Oh God.
That's about it. That's the whole segment. So, Vlad, did Jim Cornette sell out the business there at all? What do you think?
No, I don't think he sold out the business there because, as Lawler said, this was just supposed to be, just to see the skills that Jim Cornette had, and as you saw, he didn't have much, as Kevin Kelly said. But
I think the fact that he even arm twisted this guy made that guy look pretty bad. I don't know. He looks nothing like a wrestler. He's a guy with a six-pack, and here's this guy going in there, this fat guy going in there, and arm twisting this wrestler. But okay, I don't know. I'm just being nitpicky here because that's kind of what if this scene happened today, Jim Cornette. That's what Jim Cornette would say if some fat guy came out and did an arm lock challenge with Chris Masters or something. This guy looks like Chris Masters, dude. This guy looks freaking buff.
No. Well, maybe, but that's not okay. Well, I'll say this, though it doesn't really apply to Cornette, but I'm sure there's some fat wrestling shooter that could beat up some, or definitely make some six-pack looking guy.
Yeah, but not Cornette. Not
But
this.
not Cornette. But not Cornette. Yes.
Yes. Okay. All right. Let me see what I got for ratings for this segment. This one was kind of funnier to me than the earlier segment with Camp Cornette coming out and distracting the smoking guns. But this public workout, we both gave thumbs ups to, so we both liked it. All right, So that was another watch along for us here. Let's go on to our next one. So this is the Intercontinental Title Tournament. Robert, you weren't here, but Stone Cold is out. So Stone Cold got eliminated by Mark Miro. But Mark Miro's in a match today with Owen Hart, and then Farouk is in there with Sid Vicious. So let me see if I got some images for you guys. So this is Mark Miro against Owen Hart. So here's a flip from Mark Miro, AEW style. There you go. Shit, they were still doing that back in the days too. All right, not just now. But
well, no, not just now.
The story of this one was Owen Hart's cast. I guess Owen Hart had this fake cast that he didn't really need, and he tried to hit Mark Miro with it, but I think Mark Miro stole it from him, so he yanked it off his arm, which I guess Owen didn't notice, which that's the first stupid thing. And then he conks him on the head with it, but it looked really bad. I don't know. I didn't really like the ending here.
And the referee didn't see it either? Oh, my God.
The referee didn't see nothing.
Oh, this is bad.
Well, goddamn, is he blind?
Yeah, poor Owen Hart's out. So Mark Miro advances. So here he is.
Is he Nick Patrick?
Yeah, exactly.
Sable's out there to celebrate with him. And then here's Sunny. Sunny's in the other Intercontinental semifinal. She's managing Farouk. So you weren't here last week, Robert, but Farouk beat Savio Vega. And then Sid Vicious came out to confront him. So that was actually the most viewed video we had last year. Sid Vicious confronts Farouk. It had like 500 views.
Wow.
Last week,
okay.
yeah, 500 views. Sid Vicious. It looked kind of like this. The thumbnail was kind of like this. It was like the end of the show.
You got to do more Sid Vicious videos then.
Hey, he's a good thumbnail. I'll give you that.
Oh yeah, he has the crazy eyes always. So yes.
All right, this is another weird one with like the ending. Like the match was good. I guess this was a spot here where Farouk stood his ground, and he, even though Sid was big, Farouk showed that you can't hurt me and things like that. So the match was all right. The work was all right. Here's Farouk slamming Sid like he's a little kid. So that's incredible. But
yeah.
The ending I didn't really like because I think what happened, there was a choke slam. Okay, so Sid's got Farouk dead to rights, and then Sonny gets on the apron to distract the ref. And then Farouk gets in the ring, uses a steel chair. The ref doesn't see it. But that doesn't end the match. Sid kicks out, but he's so pissed off, I guess he just can't control himself. And he ends up hitting Farouk with the steel chair and getting disqualified, and he just doesn't care. So that's how he gets...
That's a lot. It's definitely way better than whatever the hell they were doing in the Mero Owen match. But yeah. Yeah,
so that's how Farouk gets to the final, and Sid is out. So the final of the tournament is Mark Mero versus Farouk. Out of all these names, Owen Hart, Steve Austin, Sid, Triple H.
Bulldog.
Anyways,
that's crazy.
Yeah.
So Sid is kind of crazy, but he lost. He's laughing. But anyway, so let's see what we got. We got some ratings on this one or what? I put both of these Intercontinental matches together as one storyline. And what do we have here? I got an indifferent. I didn't like either ending. Vlad gave it a half thumbs up for some reason. So something you liked about this whole thing. Maybe Sunny, but I don't know.
My keen eye is always on alert. So that must have been it. But I can't really think of anything else. It was I must have missed how bad the Owen Mero thing is. I probably was only half watching it at that point. And it was okay. It was the Sid Farouk thing was just okay. But yeah, it must have been Sunny that made me give it a half thumbs up because I can't think of anything else.
All right, moving along. There's just a quick one I'll just mention that during the Farouk match, they showed Ahmed Johnson in the hospital. He hasn't forgotten about Farouk, so supposedly when he comes back, they'll continue that. Yeah. But I'll just give that a quick mention. But here's a promo we could play. So here's a watch along. So The Undertaker, he's facing Goldust. This is a go-home show. So for a go-home promo, I don't know. This is the last show. This is Monday. On Sunday night, Robert, there's a pay-per-view. Mind Games, which I guess is what we'll cover next chance we get. But he's facing Goldust in a final curtain match, whatever the heck that means. But I guess I'll play
I don't know what the hell that is either, honestly.
I'll play The Undertaker's promo for you guys.
Sunday.
Hold on one second.
After this Sunday, Goldust. You're right. I never will forget the name. Because yours is the first on a list of many. It must be destroyed on my way to Mankind and Paul Bear. So, Goldust, this will be your final curtain and the premiere of the new Undertaker.
So yes, indeed.
There you go. That's it. Short and sweet. All right. It wasn't like today's Cody Rhodes, John Cena 20-minute promos. You got 1 minute, man. Get it done. Let's see what we got. Ratings for the Undertaker's promo. Thumbs up. Me and Vlad. Thumbs up. What about you, Robert? You got a rating for that? Come on. You just watched the whole thing.
Uh, maybe half the thumb.
Okay.
It was all right.
Yeah, I mean, what did he really say? He said, I gotta get past you so I could get to... I guess we got a purpose. He still wants to get to Mankind and Paul Bearer, so he has to get through Goldust to get there first. Vlad, did you have any comments before I move on to the last thing?
No, it was all right. I mean, he talked kind of slow and kind of awkward, but I guess maybe this is the way the Undertaker spoke at that time. I don't remember now, but it was an okay promo. You know, it was still the spooky kind of Undertaker promo.
All right, and then the last thing on the show. This was literally the last second, I guess. Mankind is also facing off against Shawn Michaels this Sunday
yes.
for the title. So
That's a great one, by the way.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'll play the last promo then from Mankind and Paul Bearer before the match, and that'll be the last thing we play today. So here we go. Watch along mode. Pinch out your fingers if you need to watch along.
You might see a little sweat on Paul Bearer right now. Something you're not used to, but I kind of like it in the heat of this boiler room. You're going to be sweating all right when you step into the ring with the WWF gold around your waist against my Mankind. When I win that heavyweight title, will that make me a sexy boy? And girls hey, I want to my ears. Running here. Because I like most of all, with a cold belt around my waist. 8 days. It'll be a nice day. You will.
God damn, that was actually a pretty damn good promo. I might give that 2 thumbs up. I might change my rating on that.
What did I say to that one? Did I not give anything?
I think you gave it a thumbs up also, just like the Undertaker one. But I think that was better than the Undertaker one.
That was better than the Undertaker one.
You want me to change y'all the 2 thumbs up on the review sheet?
Yeah, that was first of all, it was hilarious on every level. First with the Paul Bear stuff. Because just that voice alone, and then Mankind with the whole, you know, will I be a sexy boy if I win the match? I thought that was freaking hilarious as well. But anyways, good stuff. Yeah, I'd give that one thumbs up as a promo.
All right, there you go. I changed it just like that on the fly. Can you believe that? Robert, how about you? You give us a rating for Mankind's promo there?
Yeah, I'll give that too. That one I enjoyed.
All right, 2 thumbs up from Robert. Let's add the 2 thumbs ups there. All right, so that'll do it basically for our show today. I got 1 episode in on Raw Retro Review. I'm happy about that. Let's see. We did the modern stuff. I think I got some honorable mentions to close out the show. Let me see. Honorable mentions. What do we got? Fandango.
Oh God.
Fandango.
Yeah, but he's JDC now, and they're referring to him as JDC from TNA. So they're taking this TNA crossover thing a little more seriously now. They're actually mentioning stuff that happens on Impact, which is kind of funky to me, but I'm very happy about that. Let's see. Oh, can you guys see that? Sorry.
Oh no. Now we can. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't notice that. Sorry about that. All right, so yeah, so there's a picture of Lexus King. Also a very interesting promo from Lexus King.
Oh, what is going on with his facial hair, bro? What is that? What is Lexus? What is that? What's going on? Can't even understand.
That's something Dirty Dango made fun of him for. That he said he spray painted it on, but he did admit that he paints it on, but it's not a spray paint. But okay.
All right, Lord, why does he do that? Okay.
All right. Well, Robert, I don't know if you noticed this, but there's this little thing they've been showing for Vengeance coming up.
Yeah.
And there was a little, right when the show ended, they showed a silhouette of 4 guys.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if they're supposed to be new characters or some kind of stable that's forming at Vengeance Day, but yeah, so there's a little bit of a teaser for us. I'm actually looking forward to that to see what it is. This could be Bronco Nima and Lucian Price, but that's just a guess. Some people have said more bloodline people, more people from cartoon family. I don't know. I've heard all kinds of things. All just rumors. I don't know. Let's see. From Raw, how about Chad Gable? Chad Gable having to leave to learn the dark arts of lucha libre, and he expects his men and women to have championships when he comes back. Any comments on this?
The dark arts.
Well, first of all, the lucha libre stuff is hilarious. But the funny part is he expects his team to have, but he can never win one himself, which is the hilarious part. He's 0 for like 100 in title matches, I think. So I think
that's why he needs to go into training
for the dark arts to learn the lucha. I can't wait to see who he's training with. I think that will be hilarious. I don't know who this could be. I'm very eager to see. I thought it would be Dominic that's actually going to be teaching him, but no, Dominic.
That would be funny.
But it's Dominic giving him like some contact information for somebody else. So I'm curious who somebody else is going to be.
Speaking of Dominic, how about Judgment Day not breaking up? Man, I thought for sure this was the time they were going to break up. Instead, they totally brought Finn back into the family. They're like, your family, we're going to listen to you. You'll be the leader. Don't worry. It was like the nicest, sweetest segment ever. But
I can't stand this. They're still a group. It's so ridiculous at this point.
They're fine. They always squabble. They're like family, you know.
I see. Okay, they're fine. Good. Let them continue. Let them continue doing whatever the hell they're doing.
How about MJF and Adam Page? That's something to look forward to on AEW, kind of. They've been teasing this the last couple of weeks, I think. Anyone excited for this or no? I think this could turn out to be
a good feud.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I would look forward to that.
All right. For my Collision review, you guys got to wait till Wednesday. Check in right before Dynamite to our YouTube page on our posts. And I'll have a full Collision review, but I did skim through it, and I did notice that Hologram came back. I don't know if you guys noticed it. He came back through this magic portal.
Oh my god, bro. Are you serious right now? I mean, yes, awesome. I did see this.
It was awesome. And Tony Schiavone said, update complete when he came back. So good. Speaking of Collision, how about Penelope Ford licking Thunder Rosa's face?
Whoa.
I missed that.
My keen eye wants to watch this. This is on Collision, you say?
Collision, yes. Okay, Penelope versus Thunder Rosa.
Hold on, let me note that. Hold on.
All right. Ricochet. Moving on. Ricochet also on Collision. He bullied some people backstage. I like Ricochet. Tony Storm, did you guys notice this? This was a cool, interesting segment. Mariah May was beating up on some jobber and put lipstick on her like she was Tony Storm. And then Luther came out, and behind Luther's back, somehow that jobber turned into the actual Tony Storm. So when Mariah May grabbed her, it was like, what the fuck? It's really Tony Storm. So that was the last thing for the... Is that the go home? No, the go home for Grand Slam is Dynamite, right? I thought Grand Slam was gonna be Dynamite. Apparently, it's an episode of Collision, which is fucking weird.
It's gonna be on the.
It's on Saturday.
It's on Saturday, but it's just called Grand Slam. It's not even called Collision. It's called Grand Slam Australia.
Well, it's supposed to be like a special show. That's not neither Dynamite nor Collision, I guess.
Okay, that's not how they did it before, but okay.
Yeah, all right, man. Well, hold up. Are they airing that the same day as NXT Vengeance Day?
Correct. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
The answer to your question, the answer to that is because they know nobody's going to be watching. That's why. So they might as well just get the show over with. I guess. I don't know.
They could have done it this past weekend. There was nothing going on in wrestling like yesterday.
That's
okay.
This is horrible. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, because yes, I'm sure Robert, you're going to be watching NXT instead. But you can always go back and watch this wonderful show later.
All right, guys. Unless you guys got anything else to mention from the last week, I know there's probably a lot of things that I didn't refer to. Refer to our YouTube posts. That's where we review every angle and every storyline. And I send texts to Vlad and Robert. I'm like, what did you think of this? What did you think of this? And they respond, and I put it in the blog. So it's all there, everything. But we only have so much time. We're already an hour and 41 minutes in, so we can't talk about every wrestling angle. We'd be here for 10 hours. If we did every angle from every show in the whole week, this would be a 10-hour show. But anyways, to Vlad, the wrestling expert, to Robert, the frozen Asian, I want to give you guys my thanks for coming on. We wouldn't be at 500 subscribers without you, man. You guys are the fucking the gasoline behind this horse, bro. For real.
The gasoline behind this a horse? Well, that means
The
I don't even know.
gasoline.
Okay, well, great.
Okay.
Yes.
Well,
Or are we just the reason that the horse has gas? I don't know. But no.
no.
Well, how you guys feeling? You guys tired from the Super Bowl day? You guys, I know, had a few
I'm
drinks.
kind of tired.
Yeah.
For sure.
I'm ready to go to bed, bro.
Yeah.
All right, then. Good. You guys did a good job. I'm going to put the show up by morning. Reminders, subscribe. Check out our YouTube post for all the reviews. All right, then. Thank you. I'm tired too, man. I worked today. Out of the three of us, I was the only one who actually went to work. So
That's true.
all right.
Yeah.
All right, then, guys. We'll see you later. Have a good night. Sleep.